Hello and a warm welcome to TBC News. Our top stories. Pseudo officials under watch. Private sector and government partnership crucial. Good evening, I am Faitha Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at TBC Online. Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango has directed district commissioners in the country to manage with competence government funds and ensure all transactions are made electronically. Dr. Mpango made the remark in Dodoma while opening leadership training for district commissioners in the country, insisting that any legal action will be taken against any leader found to be embezzling government funds. Here's a report by Milika Andrew, read by Dudua Mohammed.
Continuation of leadership training for district commissioners aiming at improving professionalism in their performance. The training is being held in Dodoma and was officiated by the Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango, who directs the commissioners to manage government funds.
When you return to your districts, please make sure that the payments are being made electronically and money is sent to the bank on time. Whoever is found to be involved in acts of embezzlement within the government, we will take strict action in accordance with the laws and procedures.
Another directive given to the district commissioners is to avoid conflicts between themselves and other officials.
You should avoid practical conflicts with your fellow leaders, especially the council directors. Make sure you respect your boundaries. And you should also comply with the laws, regulations, and procedures while taking steps in the performance of work.
The Minister of Public Service Management and Good Governance, Janista Mhagama, and the Minister of State President's Office, Regional Administration and Local Government, Angela Kairuki, give more emphasis on ethics.
The right and entitlements include punishing an employee who does not comply with legal, regulatory, and guideline conduct in the public service. The authorities believe in us in accomplishing various things, but only a few are disobedient. Everyone should know about the responsibilities, boundaries, and the contribution that you have to make in the position of district authority.
The chairperson of the district commissioners in the country, who is also the Temeke district commissioner, Mwanahamisi Munkunda, together with other commissioners, vow to work on all instructions and directives given.
Tuendelee kuhakikishia viongozi wetu wa juu.
We would like to assure our senior leaders that all the funds that reach our areas are managed well so that they can be productive.
The leadership training brings together 138 district commissioners and is expected to be held for 6 days.
Moving on, the president of Zanzibar, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, says Zanzibar has a lot to learn from Morocco, mainly in the tourism sector and fishing. Dr. Mwinyi made the remark when he met and held talks with the Moroccan ambassador to Tanzania, Zakaria El Gumiri, in the State House, Zanzibar. He clarifies that Zanzibar's economy depends more on the tourism sector and will be of great value for Morocco to share experiences in the issues related to tourism and fishing.
Regarding the areas of cooperation in the economy, as you know, Zanzibar is a tourist destination, and we know tourism in Morocco is big. So we would like to, share your experiences in how to promote tourism and get investors around the tourism sector into Zanzibar, But not only tourism, we are surrounded by the ocean. So it makes a lot of sense when we talk about the blue economy. So areas of fisheries, for example, we haven't capitalized that much. We do not have processing plants for fish or manufacturing or fish feed, oils and so on. And these are big, actually. What we need is the investment, is the expertise around this area. So I'll be happy if you can convey Zanzibar's request to the business community there, that we are looking to have businesses to come and develop with us our fisheries sector as well as the tourism sector.
The Moroccan ambassador Zakaria El Goumiri reiterates that his government supports development efforts carried out by the government of Zanzibar.
We have great relationship, historical one. We're going to celebrate 58 years this year of diplomatic relationship, and this relationship has developed even further with the visit of His Majesty to Tanzania in 2016, and within this visit to Zanzibar, and we stand ready to support Zanzibar with this economic and social development. You know, Your Excellency, Morocco has a great experience and expertise in many fields, and we have signed over 20 cooperation agreements with Tanzania, but which expand also to Zanzibar, in thematics that are of great importance to Zanzibar also. Could be in thematics such as agriculture, tourism, fishery, and financial, banking, investment.
The two sides have long-term historical ties that have proved to be beneficial to the economies of both sides. Now let's take a look at other stories where the Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says investors and the private sector should strengthen cooperation with the government so as to bring positive results to the business sector. The Prime Minister was in Dar es Salaam during the launch of the first JIBA conference, insisting that if the private sector works closely with the government, it will increase the overall national income and provide more jobs to the young people. Hear more details with Apasia Ringo.
It is the first conference of JIBA in Dar es Salaam, which aims at showcasing investment opportunities available in the country and find ways to support the business community economically. The Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa is the official guest of honor at this event and directs the private sector to cooperate with the government.
The government recognizes the contribution from the private sector. The development of this country will be brought by cooperation between you and the government, and to ensure that the goals we have set for ourselves through our policies, plans and business strategies will be successful through solidarity between the private sector and the government.
Abubakar bin Zuberi, Mufti and the Chief Sheikh of Tanzania, is among the guests who had the opportunity to speak at this conference, and here he identifies the relation between business and religion.
10 parts of livelihood are in business and farming, and the 10th part is livestock keeping. These are instructions from Allah.
For his part, Al-Junaid Hasham, chairman of JIBA Dar es Salaam, says that the logo of this international commercial institution is to unite business community and give them investment opportunities, while some members of JIBA talk on the opportunities available in the institution.
We want Tanzania to be the center of businessmen in the world. Previously, this opportunity was not available to all. Thus, the founders of JIBA saw it and it will be friendlier to everyone. Our goals are to organize various events and exhibitions that suit the community, as well as the diaspora around the world, in cooperating with our 32 branches and attracting them as investors to return to their land.
We have developed a joint program in which we look at how we can work with startups, also promote businesses that have already been established.
We have a company called Samaki International that deals with large fishing projects here in Tanzania. We as Tanzanians have a great opportunity in investing in fishing, and according to the government's data, there is a very large domestic market before looking at the foreign market.
JIBA APP and Samaki Investment Limited are among the products launched at this first conference here in Tanzania.
In other news, more than 47 million US dollars, equivalent to 110 billion shillings, is to be used to improve tertiary education courses, including starting to provide education with technical skills to equip graduates of the University of Dar es Salaam with practical knowledge to make them competitive in the job market. It's a report by Henry Mabumo, read by Dudua Mohammed.
The academic experts from the University of Dar es Salaam are meeting here, focusing on evaluating the whole project, which is reported to the initial step towards implementation of the education reforms as directed by the President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. Professor Benedetta Kilian is the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Dar es Salaam, says the new courses, which aim at providing education and skills to graduates, will begin in 2024-2025.
Tunatarajia mitaala yetu kwa kiasi kikubwa iwe imebadilishwa na kuanza kufundishwa.
We expect our curricula to be largely changed and begin to be taught by the year 2025. I think, looking at the results of this matter, we should give ourselves the next 5 to 10 years.
The coordinator of the Higher Education for Economic Reforms, Professor Joel Mtebe, clarifies on issue of investments in the project and emphasizes that the project will enable education to be given online and physically with consideration of gender in 19 universities.
We expect the curriculum to have things that are rare in the sense of cross-cutting issues. For example, gender issues have been serious currently. Let us look now. Our curricula will have gender issues across all our universities. In addition, there are several climatic changes which have been a global issue. The
issue of employers demanding professionals with work experience as a criterion for employment is also hinted upon.
Employers should have the habit of looking at the 5-year criterion. You want to hire an individual with a degree, but also want someone with 5 years of experience. Sometimes it becomes a challenge because many young people are out there without a job due to lack of experience.
Now, to explain more on the project, we are joined live in the studio with the Deputy Coordinator of Higher Education for Economic Reforms, Dr. Liberato Haule. Dr. Haule, welcome.
Thank you.
So to start off, first of all, tell us a bit more about the graduates. What types of skills do they have currently? How is the situation in Tanzania?
Well, okay. Currently, actually, the situation is that the response that we get from the market, we have different issues which actually falls into 2 groups. In the first category, we see that there are a number of graduates who are there in the market, but the employers claim that they are not employable. You employ them, they are not able to perform as per to their expectation. That's one category of the situation in the market. But the second category, we see that there are sectors which are essential sectors at the moment. They're running short of skilled experts. Going into the health sector, for instance, you see there is a shortage of health sector staff, biomedical engineers, doctors and nurses. But again, going into the education sector itself, especially with the secondary education and primary education level, you see there is a huge shortage of teachers, in particular in the science subjects. Again, at the university level, private universities, they are running shortage of the academicians. So that's the situation actually that is in the market at the moment. And this is what the project is looking at addressing it.
So what should the students and the Tanzanians expect now from this project?
The expectation is that for those who are in secondary schools, they should expect that now we are going to create a space for them to get admitted into the higher level, higher learning institutions. So we are going to increase the learning spaces, put in more equipment, especially to those who wish to study in science subjects. But again, when they join at the university, they should expect that now they'll get an opportunity to be trained by more competent teachers, because the project is going to support a number of academic staff at higher degrees at world-class universities abroad. So when they get back now, they should be there available for supporting the teaching and doing research as well. But again, in addition to that, we are going to improve the learning environment in the sense that we are going to take advantage of the use of the ICT in teaching and learning. So we are going to have several learning platforms, and so we'll have courses which will be delivered online in addition to what we deliver on the campus. In this way, actually, one is that we are going to provide access to those who actually did not have an opportunity of getting into the study because of missing that opportunity of studying directly on campus. But in addition to that, in case of any emergence, say for instance, considering the situation we had, the COVID-19 environment where universities has to close down. So with the online mode delivery, that means now students will be able to get the studies from where they are, and lecturers will be able to conduct lectures from where they are. In addition to that, we are going to have a very strong linkage with the industry. So our students will get opportunity to learn the practical skills by getting industrial placement within in the companies. And we have already taken a number of initiatives. We have already launched the Industrial Advisory Committee, something that we did a week ago. So the industry is committed to support the university. So yes, the Tanzanian youth should expect that when they join the university now, they are going to get a better education with the mixed skills, which will make them ready to join the labor market within the country as well as outside the country.
So what would you say is the uniqueness of this project, like the most profound unique feature? Because with regards to practical training, even currently the students do practical, they go to this field placements and all. So how unique is this project?
Well, we understand and currently we appreciate that our students have been going for the industrial placement, yes, but this arrangement now is going to be unique in a way that not only the students, actually it will begin by allowing the lecturers will also be visiting the industry where they gain experience, but there are going to be opportunities for the professionals from the industry. They'll be visiting the university, so they'll deliver talks. So this reciprocating kind of sharing of information will place our students at a better position of learning from different styles and receiving the knowledge from different professionals.
Thank you very much, Dr. Haule. Now, let's move on. President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan has given Buhingwe District Hospital medical equipment worth 573 million and 36 motorcycles to the officials of the council to facilitate their work in the border areas. Handing over the equipment and the motorcycles on behalf of the President, the Buhingwe District Commissioner, Colonel Michael Ngayalina, directs the district officials to be cautious with the equipment given. Here's a report by Abdulatif Said, read by Apasia Ringo.
It is a joyous moment for the Buhingwe Council officials. The compliments given to the President shows how delightful the officials are, as the equipment will ease execution of their daily duties.
The Council has received 36 transport vehicles and medical equipment worth 5.7 million Tanzanian shillings. All these have been brought by our beloved President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, which will be used to provide various services to patients, including diagnostic and emergency services.
The Buhingwe District CCM chairperson says this step is part of the implementation of the CCM manifesto.
One of the biggest tasks we are determined to do is to empower our councils and its employees by providing them with resources that will enable them to provide services to the citizens very closely.
The Buhingwe District Commissioner, Colonel Michael Ngayalina, emphasizes that the equipment should be used with caution.
Do not carry migrants without permits or smuggling goods in these vehicles. If you're caught, it will be taken as committing a criminal offense. Make sure you are transporting people or goods legally.
Apart from eyewitnessing the handover of the equipment from the president, the director of the council also uses the opportunity to hand over loans based on the 10% of the local government's income to 4 women and youth groups.
Every second Monday of March, members of the Commonwealth countries celebrate the association. This year's theme being Forging a Sustainable and Peaceful Common Future. The celebrations were held at the British High Commissioner's residence in Dar es Salaam, bringing together youth and beneficiaries of the Commonwealth programs.
We want to promote the connection and the use of the Commonwealth network to give youth opportunities and to give the youth a voice on matters such as climate change. Today's event, it's been great. We've had participants from the world of sport, Commonwealth Games, and Filbert Bayi. We've had participants who have been Tanzanian Commonwealth scholars, and they've told us about their experience and how it's helped them. And we've got some great participants, Tanzanians, young Tanzanians who are members of the Commonwealth youth organizations.
This year are special as they coincide with commemoration of 10 years since signing of Commonwealth Charter. The ambassador of Rwanda to Tanzania, Major General Charles Karamba, also attended the celebrations and was one of the panelists discussing this year's theme for the Commonwealth.
Talking about trade and investment, this is key. Every country needs trade and investment. Our youth need jobs. So members of East African community are supposed to be focusing on trade and investment, are supposed to be focusing on empowering our youth, who are the future leaders of our tomorrow.
Commonwealth is focusing on youth-led actions, climate change and sports to reach out to the respective communities of the member states.
Sport Foundation has been supporting us in 3 remarkable programs. The first one is called the Game Changer program. The Game Changer entails putting a program to youth or communities where they can change their mind towards a certain issue.
And that item concludes local news tonight. International news up next. Now let's have a look at international news with Ahmed Salum.
Police in Malawi say at least 40 people have died as a result of the destruction caused by Tropical Storm Freddy. Police added that they do not know the full extent of the damage and the number of casualties due to the communication links being cut. In the city of Blantyre, police said that people died when their homes were destroyed, and they do fear that people are trapped under rubble. Meanwhile, the Red Cross Society in Malawi said in a tweet that 66 people have died, 93 injured, and 16 people are missing due to Tropical Cyclone Freddy, which affected over 2,115. Neighboring Mozambique has received more than a year's worth of rainfall in the past 4 weeks, as Cyclone Freddy made landfall on Sunday for the second time in a month. The death toll in Mozambique is at least 28 since the storm first made landfall. 22 were killed when a boat carrying 47 people sank off the coast of Madagascar on its way to the French island of Mayotte. Madagascar Maritime Agency said 23 people were served, while a search for 2 still missing was still underway. The agency said the migrants had covertly taken the boat to Mayotte. It said the incident happened on Saturday. The Reuters news agency quoted police officer as saying most of those who were rescued had fled to avoid being arrested. In Asia, North Korea has fired 2 strategic cruise missiles from a submarine in a show of force just hours before the United States and South Korea began their largest joint military exercise in 5 years. The test, reported by state media on Monday, came days after leader Kim Jong-un oversaw a series of weapons launches and ordered his soldiers to intensify efforts to repel its rivals' frantic war preparation moves. The official Korean Central News Agency, KCNA, said the missile launches showed Pyongyang's resolve to respond with overwhelming powerful forces to so-called military maneuvers by the US and South Korean forces.
That was international news. Sports news up next. Now let's dive deep into sports news with Mario Cheto.
Tanzania Olympic Committee TOC will conduct trachoma training workshop aiming at eliminating the disease in the Singida region. Speaking to TBC News in Dar es Salaam, TOC Vice President Heri Tandau says the project is sponsored by the Commonwealth Sports Foundation to impart life skills on how to fight against the trachoma disease in the region.
The second program of the Game Changer is going to start tomorrow in Singida. This is a sport in the fight against trachoma. You know, trachoma, which eventually leads to blindness, is predominant in Dodoma, Singida, and the like. So the Commonwealth Sport Foundation has supported us to go and use sport to convey a message on how to protect oneself against trachoma.
We want to promote the connection and the use of the Commonwealth network to give youth opportunities and to give the youth a voice on matters.
The Commonwealth Sports Foundation has already successfully implemented 3 other major projects: the Game Changer with the Hadzabe project for climate change and environmental protection, Youth Equip project aiming at giving youth leadership skills in sports, and the GAP project for people with disabilities, where they trained for coaching and technical skills in sports. As the month of Holy Ramadan approaches, Muslim and non-Muslim community in Tanzania has been urged to observe dressing code, especially wearing stara during the day of fasting, since the month is for good conduct in the community. Speaking during the inauguration of Swaga ya Ramadhani dressing code, Modo Saidinde says the stara clothes has been prepared for all people, regardless to their religions, and promoting tourism sector.
We are ready than before. This Ramadhani, we have 3 collections, a very amazing collection. One of them is called the Swaga ya Ramadan. It's a classic, a new design on fashion markets. People should prepare themselves because every day they really know when Ramadan comes, good things is at peak.
In Ramadan, we are not supposed to show our hair or our body parts. Some body parts in Islamic are not supposed to be shown by men or other people. So Pichichi has just helped us and just clothed our whole body like this and just look fine and fashionist.
Muslim community in Tanzania will join other Muslims in the world to observe fasting from later this month. And the Tanzania Tennis Association President Francis Thomas says the Junior World Tennis Series taking place in Tanzania at Gymkhana in Dar es Salaam will help Tanzanian youth tennis players to fulfill their dreams in international arenas. President Thomas reveals that youth participating in the tournament has been excited and they are ready to apply their skills so as to achieve their dreams.
Once they qualify from here, they'll be competing to Bulgaria as well for more competitions. And from there, I think the winners are eligible to International Federation Association to proceed for qualification. So it's a good start for our country.
It's very important also for the players, especially for the young kids, that they have a dream and they have a motivation to play tennis. So, and I think with our series, we are some different like other series.
Youth from 9 countries are participating in the tournament, which has kicked off from today and will end on Saturday, 18th. Mario Cheto, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Mario Cheto. And that marks the end of a news bulletin for tonight. Thank you very much for